guys, I'm Magda.
And I'm Cruz.
And welcome back to another episode of the Sin Vergüenza Podcast.
Yes.
I hope everyone's doing good today. So, Cruz, for today's episode, I will give a heads up. We actually had to re-record this episode. We had some technical difficulties, but I feel like it's too good of a topic to not redo it. So here we are, take 2 for this episode. And from the title, you guys will probably already kind of get the idea of what we want to talk about, which is hustle culture. And it's specifically in the U.S. Because in a previous episode, we actually had talked about how it is in Latin families when it comes to always wanting to do something or like having trouble with rest. But I want to ask you, Cruz, what is the difference from that topic, at least for you personally, in this one, hustle culture in the U.S.? Do you feel like there's a difference?
Sorry, I'm confused. What do you mean?
Like, what is the difference between you personally? Like, the resting, like having the
like the resting mentality?
Yeah.
Versus like them with like...
Yeah, because remember the episode that we had done, this was a couple months ago. I think it was earlier in the year. And it was, we had a hard time accepting like how to rest. And we even see it in our older relatives too.
Yep.
Like, our parents or grandparents and stuff. They always have to have something to do.
Yeah.
And I feel like it kind of gets passed down to us in our generation. And that itself was a topic already, right? And that's an episode we did earlier in the year. And this one, we want to focus it more on the U.S. as a whole and having like the whole hustle culture mentality. So I'm curious with you with those two topics, like how do you see them? If there's any difference on how you see them?
No, I feel like they are a little bit different though. Because I feel like here, especially having parents that come to a new country with not knowing how the country works, I feel like they do have to constantly be doing something in order for them to get by. And so I feel like that's why a lot of families might live paycheck to paycheck and stuff like that. But I do feel like it is different. And I feel like here, it's not very used to, like, you have to be doing something. You can't be sitting, like, and I feel like bringing our culture into it, I feel like being told, like, lazy, like, bums for, like, just sitting down and doing anything, I feel like it does affect people, even though it might not seem like it.
I agree. And the way I see it is like hustle culture is kind of like a big umbrella is the way I see it. And what we kind of went through with our parents and what a lot of people probably go through with Latin families is because I feel like how you said, our parents are kind of stuck in survival mode and a lot of them sacrificed a lot, their lifestyle in Mexico or whatever country they were coming from. And families too, they left a lot of relationships, a lot of families and stuff back in Mexico, and they are not able to see them, right? So there's a lot that comes with that mentality where it's like almost like they're always in a go, go, go mentality. And it's almost like when they rest, like maybe like an ocean of emotions come in. Yeah, guilt. Maybe they have a hard time resting because they feel like they always have to be productive. Maybe they miss, certain family members in Mexico, and that's the way they cope. It's almost like, well, let me just keep my mind busy, right? So there's a lot of, different factors that can come into play. Now, I kind of want to shift the conversation, though, because I feel like it is a big umbrella, the way I see it in my head, when it comes to hustle culture in the U.S., because this goes beyond Latin families. What we're seeing now, I feel like we're seeing it beyond just Latin families, where it's almost like people, I had said this to you before, it's almost like people like to brag on how busy they are, at least here in the U.S.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I barely slept. I only had like 4 hours of sleep last
3
night.
hours, yeah.
And like, to me, I'm just like, yo, that's a little concerning. Like, how often do you do that? Because sleep is such a vital part of your health. So it gets to a point where I feel like it's concerning. How does hustle culture, how do you see it on your end? Like your perspective, or how does it impact you personally?
No, I totally agree with what you just said because I feel like here, a lot of times when you're starting a conversation with somebody, you're like, so what are you up to? What are you doing? And I feel like what we said this in the last episode too, or 2 episodes ago, we were like, how are you? So you want to know like basically everything the person's doing,
Yeah.
to catch up. And I feel like people are kind of expected to say your what you did that whole day, and for it to be long and productive. And if you didn't do anything productive, well, then you're gonna be like, oh, they didn't do anything. They're just, those thoughts that come up to some people that are like, oh, they were lazy or they didn't do anything,
Yeah.
or they don't have any worries, or they're not stressed and stuff like that. So I feel like it's very normalized, and I feel like for some people it does affect, and some people it doesn't affect them at all.
I agree. I'm curious because right now I feel like let me ask you, what would you describe the stage in life that you are right now when it comes to career wise, education wise, because that kind of goes in with hustle culture
Yeah.
is like, oh, are you going to school? Are you working out? Or how many hours are you working? How do you categorize your life right now where you are in this point right now?
I feel like right now is where what is it called when it's like people like take their time to find who they are.
Yeah.
That's kind of the stage I'm in.
Okay.
Just I'm basically trying new things, including this. Um First, not I finished school, but I'm still finding I didn't click with it, which is for a lot of people might see that as a failure, and then also I'm it may not seem like it, but I'm very enjoying the time. I'm enjoying the time that I'm spending with my parents, especially.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that for you. And I feel like it's so important to get to that point and allow yourself to rest, allow yourself to enjoy, the company or whatever you are doing. If you're picking up a hobby, if you're in some way investing in yourself. And I feel like a lot of the times we fear, like how you said, being perceived differently in other eyes and being judged. How do you handle that? Because I know with like again going back with the whole hustle culture mentality, people kind of in a way kind of look down at someone that is not working overtime, at someone that's not bringing in some type of income, at someone that's not working in I don't know a business or working on their degree or something. They almost look at them like like concerning in a way, right? How do you navigate those feelings on your end, being at a point where, hey, I'm resting and it's okay? Like, how do you navigate that?
I feel like it's very hard to navigate those feelings. And like every other person too, one day you're good, one day you're bad. And I feel like having, well, first place, a good support system that kind of don't put you down even more, I feel like helps a lot. And then realizing that you're also human and you need to do something for yourself before you can help. Like how you said, you have to help other people. And for me, in my case, I feel like right now, especially, I know I'm not the only one who feels lost and stuff like that, but I feel like it's part of my journey to get to a better point in life. So it's like I'm stuck, but I'm also like, it's like when you're driving in the car and like in the mornings and it's very foggy outside, you can barely see, but you can see a little bit. That's kind of how I feel. That's exactly how I picture it.
Okay. Yeah, and I mean, and sometimes you got to get out of the car and clean up the mirror or do what you got to do. Sometimes you have to come to a stopping point, right? And I feel like the way I see hustle culture is like, I feel like people should have the choice to want to do that. Because don't get me wrong, some people love, whatever it is that they do, and they just want to do that and invest all their time in that. And hey,
or they might have the opportunity to do what, for example, like what I'm doing. Like some people might not have that.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. So that's and that's exactly what I was getting at. It should be a choice. It shouldn't be forced because right now we're living in a really bad economy, and like the job market is really bad. People have to be working like over, I don't know, 50, 60. They have like 3 or so jobs just to make ends meet. You know, some people don't have the privilege to be able to stop right now. Some people don't have the privilege to the family support system, right? Some people have no choice but to work because they have people that depend on them, right? And I feel like it's so frustrating seeing the how the country is right now for me personally, because I see other countries and how they are thriving when it comes to like work-life balance. And I feel like there's so much, it's connected to even like our mental health. I feel like we weren't born to have to work 40 hours a week, barely have time to be with our families, barely have time to invest in ourselves, invest in our health, invest in our hobbies. And it's really frustrating seeing how we are supposed to be one of the most, I don't know, um, how do you say it? The best country in the world, you know? But we don't have paid maternity leave, like federal,
or time off. Like, what is it?
Federal mandated PTO. Like, we don't, like, it's all depending on each company. Like,
and if they allow it.
That's what I'm saying. It depends on each workplace if they even have PTO hours, if they even have maternity leave, if the type of benefits. Like, it should not be based on the employer. It should be like a federal mandate. Each employer needs to have minimum a year of maternity leave, minimum of a certain amount of sick leave, you know? I don't know. And it's frustrating.
I can see how you're getting frustrated.
Yeah.
But like from your perspective as well, like how do you see hustle culture? Because like you're in a different stage now, and you've previous episodes you said you've worked many like other jobs as well.
Girl, yeah. I've been stuck in this hustle culture mentality, and I feel like I'm doing a lot better in balancing my life because I spoke in previous episodes of my early 20s how, girl, I was working 3 jobs technically, because I was helping my mom, I was working at the Mexican store, and I was working at a daycare. So I had no day off. And not only that, too, I was really crappy with myself because I was going out drinking. I was barely sleeping at night because I would go to sleep pretty late and then wake up super early, and consuming alcohol, like going out every single weekend with friends. Eventually, it took a toll on me. It did. And I still struggle with it, Cruz, right now, because right now, I feel like there's a part of me that is proud of myself, which I feel like valid, right? I've come a long way, valid. I'm not knocking that. But I feel like at the same time, I need to watch myself, because I feel like I almost, how do I say it? Like, I do to myself what other people do to other people, where it's like, oh, did you work out today? Did you do your homework? Even though my homework may be due on Friday, it's Tuesday night. I got a couple of days. Did you do your homework? You should be doing it right now. You should not be resting,
So you don't allow yourself to procrastinate?
I do, but I beat myself up for it. I allow myself to rest. Huh?
Like last moment you procrastinate, but then you beat yourself up?
I don't think I'm a big procrastinator like that, like last moment, because I feel like I get anxiety.
Okay.
So I don't. I feel like if I do procrastinate, it's nowhere near to how I've heard other people procrastinate. It's not. Because I feel like I can be, like, sometimes right now with my grandma, when she was here in town, I had some assignments that I forgot to submit. It wasn't necessarily that I was procrastinating. I just forgot that shit was due that night because I had so much going on. But I don't like to procrastinate, because I feel like I get, at least when it comes to important stuff like schoolwork or like something to do with my job or something, because I do get anxiety and I don't like that. So I feel like I wouldn't say I'm a stickler about stuff like that. I do like getting stuff. What?
A stickler?
Like specific. I think it's like kind of like being specific about certain things. Yeah. So I like making sure certain things are done. And I feel like I caught myself that in like previous jobs. like I'm very by the book. Like I don't know if it's like ADHD. I don't know what it is, but I'm very like by the book. Like I love formulas. Like I love that type of order. I don't know. I'm interesting because I'm like that, like on paper. But if you go see like my maker room and stuff, like it's everything on display. But because I don't make a checklist for myself. But if you give me like a checklist or something,
you'll do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if that just makes me like a worker bee. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, I feel like I need to do better about it because I do beat myself up whenever I am resting. And I almost catch myself in a way saying how busy I am. Like, I feel like I do that. Like, it's almost like I'm saying how proud I am because I'm working, my job 40 hours a week and I'm doing, the podcast and I'm going to school and I'm going to the gym. And it's almost like I'm saying it in a way to validate myself. And I feel like it shouldn't be the case, It shouldn't be the case, but I'm working on it. And I feel like it's important to deconstruct that whole hustle culture mentality and rest. If you're able to rest, take the time and do it. Because your body, sooner or later, I feel like that's another thing too. It will give you signals. It will tell you, like, it will force you to rest sooner or later. But unfortunately, we do live in a country that
is expected for you to continue on. I feel like even after high school,
it's not even, I wouldn't even say that it's expected. I feel like they set us up to do that. They set us up for failure in that way. Because if you think about like these companies, these huge billion-dollar corporations, you would think that they would try to enforce, I don't know, like some work-life balance, but I feel like all they care about is freaking profit, and they don't care how it hinders the person individually. As long as you come into work and you clock in, that's all they care about.
Yep.
And you're right, kind of going back to, school-wise too. I feel like it's a whole system. It's a system. I feel like the like this country is like, it's just a corporation. Like it's just, I don't know. That's just the way I see it because they literally instill that in us, even as kids, to get used to going to school, an 8-hour school day, 30-minute lunch break. Don't talk, sit down, raise your hand, stay in line. They don't encourage curiosity. They don't encourage questioning. And I don't know, it's just very standardized, And I feel like it is to feed the system, that billion-dollar corporate machine. It's all in favor of that. But I probably sound like I got a tinfoil hat right now. But it's interesting. And I don't know. I feel like I've been rambling, Cruz. Tell me something.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of something, but my mind went blank. I feel like it's like this topic it's kind of hard because I feel like we're both in different situations.
We're in different.
It's like how when I heard you speaking earlier, when like you listed all the stuff you do, and then compared to mine, I mean, I know I do things.
What do you do, Cruz?
Like I do things, but like when you ask me, it's like I forget everything. But I know that if you stepped in my shoes, you would also say she does she does things, So I feel like we're both in like two different parts. And like when I heard you speaking your list of like what the things you were doing, I'm like, oh, maybe like, how I'm only stuck in my head, not gonna lie.
How so? I guess, and the reason I ask is like, what do you do? Like, whenever you do hear these conversations, because I feel like probably people are in your shoes where, they're trying to get out of this system of the hustle culture mentality. How do you validate yourself whenever you are taking the time to rest?
But it's not necessarily like, that's the thing. When I say I'm taking the time to rest, it's not that I'm not doing anything. And I feel like that's how other people might view it, especially since they haven't done that for themselves. So I feel like they might look at it as just like laying in bed, not doing anything, like just scrolling on your phone. But I feel like that's how people might look at it. But that's not how I'm living through it,
Okay, so how are you living through it?
Basically, well, in the first place, I help around with anything in the house, like literally anything. I'm basically like the driver for like my family, well, my parents especially. And like I I help like not only my family, but if other family that also like they're like, oh, can you take me to the doctor or can you translate for this? It's like I'm always there, you know? So it's not like I'm not doing anything, you know? But when people say, oh, like for example, I say, oh, I'm taking some time for myself, people might take that as like just laying in bed, not doing anything. And I feel like that's what my those thoughts are what affect me mentally, you know, because they're putting up like an image of what taking some time for yourself looks like. So it does affect me how they might perceive it as just not doing anything, you know, when on the contrary I am contributing somehow.
And see, and I feel like that is part of the issue too, though. I feel like as people, I feel like we feel guilty for not giving back in some way or another. And I feel like and you know, everything, I mean, at least for your family, like whatever y'all system is, it's working for y'all, right? It's working for y'all. And I feel like some people, how you say it, they may not see it like that. They may look from the outside in. But I feel like a lot of the times they're kind of maybe speaking on their insecurities too. You know, we've talked about that before too. It's almost like they project their insecurities onto other people. And I feel like the important part is to validate yourself. And as long as you know that, hey, and I think I said this in the last episode, like it's all about your own conscience. You know, if you feel at ease with what you're doing where you are currently in life, you're not hurting anyone else. You do you.
I was up early yesterday and doing a whole bunch of stuff. And for dinner, we made pupusas for the first time.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
They came out a little bit thick.
Wait, you made them or your mom made them?
Me and my mom.
Oh, yeah. Which ones did y'all make?
The chicharrón.
Oh, yum.
Yes. And they needed a little bit more cheese, not gonna lie. But you know how my mom makes the gorditas?
Yeah.
So she already has the like, way to make them.
Yeah.
And they come out a little bit thick. So when she was making the pupusas, hers came out a little bit thick too.
Okay.
And then when I tried doing them, they kind of broke, like they would crack. But I guess that's normal, right?
I know towards the outside, like it might ooze out a little bit of cheese, but I don't think the middle should crack.
Oh, well, mine came out like that. And so we made them, and they came out a little bit thick. That's why we got full with like 2. I'm not gonna lie. And then my mom, she loves cookbooks. She loves looking like chefs and stuff like that. So I feel like for her palate is more like to explore. So she's more open to like cook different recipes.
Oh, that's cool.
That's very nice.
Wait, so what were you saying? You said you were falling asleep. How was this? Sorry, I think we kind of went off topic.
Oh yeah.
What was it? You were saying that you were tired?
Yeah, I was so tired that what I meant by it is that I did have like a good productive day. You know, it wasn't just like just how people might take it as not doing anything. So that's what I want to say.
So do you feel, I guess my thing is, do you feel guilty because of what other people might think? Or do you feel guilty with just doing it? I feel like maybe there's a difference.
What do you mean guilty?
Because I feel like for me, I don't honestly, and you know this, I give 2 fucking shits about what people say. I give 0 shits. I'm my own critic. Like I'm my worst critic. Like, I give 2 shits. Like, someone can come in the house and I look like shit. I don't care.
It's your house.
But I do it to myself where it's almost like I just beat myself up about it, you know? And I don't know. I feel like, because I feel like I kind of solved that I don't give a shit about what people think. But then I need to do that within my own self because I feel like I'm just hard on myself with not even just like resting, but like pushing hard. Like, even at the gym, like Darian got on to me this week because I get frustrated because I'm like, like I should be lifting more weight by now. Like I should be able to be, you know, doing just lifting more weight. And like yesterday we were doing leg day, right? So we were pushing. I was supposed to do like 3. I had 345 pounds. I don't know what 6 times 45 is, but basically I was pushing that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I did 10 of them, and that was supposed to be my highest one. And he was like, that was not your highest. Like, you could have gone up higher and just do like 3 of them, and that's fine. But in my head, I don't like doing that because I feel like I'm not doing enough. Even though it is a higher weight, because I don't get to 10, it makes me mad, so I don't want to do it. So like it makes no sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, but I feel like that's my thing too. It's like, I don't know. It's like I maybe it goes to like my patience. Maybe I'm not patient with myself. So I feel like that's what it is too. Like that's something that I need to work on.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
No, yeah, it makes sense.
So like for you, do you feel like it's both, or do you
kind
feel
of
like
how you just explained it? You have to push yourself because it's like you do that to yourself just so you can feel good about yourself, kind of.
Yeah.
Or you completed it. It's kind of what I do.
So it's not necessarily what other people might think.
It has to do with both of them.
So it is both. Okay.
Okay. Both things affect me, and so both of them affecting me, it makes me feel
even worse.
Yeah. So
yeah,
I feel like it's just part of the experience and growing and not allowing other things or other comments or stuff like that to affect me. I feel like it is part of the plan.
Yeah, it's part of the growing process. Okay, so Cruz, transitioning now to the end of the episode, what do you feel like you're doing now with this whole hustle culture mentality? How do you feel like what you're doing to yourself to be easy on yourself, or to, I don't know, to help yourself out, I guess?
Something that I want to take from this episode, I feel like it's not to be so hard on myself, which I feel like I've said that in so many other episodes as a conclusion. But I feel like it is part of who I am, and I'm just I'm a very tough critic of myself, that it does affect me, and wanting to better help myself as well. But at the same time, I'm not reminding myself I'm not a bad person. You know?
Yeah. And I feel like there has to be a balance, because I feel like when it comes to hustle culture, I feel like there can be a lot of, I don't know, people put people on a pedestal that are always up and going. And I kind of go back to that. It should be a choice. Like if you like to be up and running and doing all this, stuff throughout the day, more power to you. But I feel like the important thing is we should have a choice to do that. It shouldn't have to be to the point where people have to, like I said earlier, work these crazy amount of hours a week just to put food on the table. And I hope, no, let me not say hope. I believe that we will get to a point as a society in this country that the way of life will be different. I hope to live, I know I will live the day to see that, to where we don't have homeless people out on the streets, and healthcare is a universal right, a human right for everyone. And water, food also, like that should be a human right for everyone. I feel like it is really important to just always remain curious. Not only just with yourself, but the leaders, the people that we have in office, the people that we tend to trust, not just the people in office, but, church leaders, your family dynamics, schools, it's always really important to just stay curious, and it's okay to rest. I know I'm kind of all over the place. Don't feel guilty whenever you do get a moment of rest. And yeah, I feel like that's my tip. And I feel like if something that I say to myself, and I will continue to say to myself, is it's okay to rest. It's okay to rest. You don't always have to be productive. And if you want to look at it like that too, like resting is productivity. Like you need your body well nourished, rested in order to be the best version of yourself. So with that being said, I hope you guys took something out of this episode. I hope that it validated you in some type of way. And I always encourage people to just remain curious and to question everything, you know? Don't just take what people say and take it and run with it. Do your research and be curious.
I like that.
With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and let us know. Let us know in the comments what you think.
Yes.
Yes, we'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye.